Hi everybody! Today we're making honey cake. It takes half an hour to make. It's called honey cake in half an hour. It's just time for the cake to infuse. Nothing to whip, nothing to roll. Everything is quick and easy. You get a big, delicious, tender cake. Today we prepare honey cake, which is really cooked in 30 minutes. The only thing is that such a cake needs to insist at least a little time. Cooking is very easy and nothing to roll out. Everything is extremely simple. Take a pan with a thick bottom so that you can put it on the fire. Soft butter. Actually, any butter, we will melt it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Here we send sugar and here we pour honey. We put everything on the stove and wait for it all to combine and dissolve. Look. It's all starting to melt and come together like this. Now I'll wait for the butter to melt all the way through so that everything is homogeneous. It's all combined, it's homogeneous. Now I put the baking soda in here. Stir it in. And now the whole thing is going to react and start to foam, so I'm going to wait. My temperature is medium. Here I have a number 11 on the stove. Now let's just wait a little. It's all started. Just look how it's foaming. The main thing is to stir and to have a pot with a thick bottom so that nothing burns. You can use a whisk. I just do it with a spoon. I'm waiting for it to start to foam a little bit more. You see, it's already so cloudy and foamy, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. Keep in mind, don't get a bowl that's too small. As you see, it's all foaming up so nicely. Light, fluffy, all honey-colored and fragrant. So this stuff is still a little hot right now. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for it to cool down a bit so it doesn't take up so much flour. Basically, I wait a little bit. After 5 minutes, you can add the eggs. I beat them in one at a time, so look, you've added one, just like that. It's all coming apart fast like that. Now the second egg. Okay, 4 eggs, all mixed. You don't need the whisk anymore, but you'll need the spoon again. Now we take the flour. Where is my ladle? I'll pour it in several portions so that the dough will be softer. I'm sending about 2 ladles like this full. And knead. The dough should be a little thicker than sour cream. And the other half of the flour. That's how we knead the dough. Actually, what's most interesting is that the same products, even in the same quantities, but combined in different ways. For example, this honey cake. First, everything is heated, then eggs and flour are added. You spread it all on parchment, or it's poured into a baking pan, and you get one flavor of crust. If you combine all these products just cold, like this, all together, you get the same honey cake, but with a different flavor of crust. It's very interesting. Try it both ways. I have a lot of variants of honey cakes on my channel. I even have some with lard. It's a great honey cake. Our dough is ready. It's like this. It's like a liquid caramel, and it starts covering with bubbles right away. It is ready to be baked. I've got 2 trays, 40 by 30. What I need to do? I'm spreading the dough on these 2 trays. I'm going to bake 2 huge cakes so I can cut it all up later. And I quickly made a huge cake. You can bake in much smaller molds, but then you'll just have more molds and you'll have more cakes. Stretch it out like this. I use regular baking trays. These are the ones that go in the oven, the standard ones. It's the fastest way. You don't have to do anything with the crust. It's quick. Then I cut it into several pieces, and it's a huge cake smeared with delicious sour cream, and it's ready. Delicious honey cake is ready. Don't worry that the dough is so thin. It then rises in the oven and turns out not so thin. But the cakes turn out so fluffy. Well absorbed the cream. Very tasty comes out. Bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 360 Fahrenheit. Bake the cakes from 5 to 8 minutes. Watch very quickly so they don't burn. As you see, 7 minutes and the cake is ready. Cooled shortcakes. They cool down literally 5 minutes. While one is cooking, the second is already cooled down. I trim them so they're all the same. How am I doing that? I trim the edge, and I trim the edges right here so that the edges are just more even, you know, like this. And that's how you cut the cake in half. like this. And the cake itself comes off the parchment perfectly. So you see, you get a cake like this. We should have 4 of them. The cake trimmings, just a little bit of them, just to even them out. And I just take just any cookie like this in the blender and beat it. Just make different size of crumbs, whichever you prefer. That's how you get the crumbs. You can have more or less cookies. I will sprinkle mostly on the sides of the cake. Now we prepare the cream. I take sour cream. I make a mixture of sour cream. The fatter the sour cream, the better. You can take any sour cream, as you wish. I got store-bought. And I put powdered sugar, not sugar, only powdered sugar. And I'm going to add vanilla. I've got vanilla extract like this. Well, it's almost there. Well, just a little bit. Just the last drops. That's it. I'm out of vanilla. We add the vanilla and mix it in. I add a cream thickener for sour cream. There's thickener for the cream, and I'm adding sour cream thickener. Why do I do that? Cakes, they will absorb the cream so much that they will swell well, and there will be almost no cream left in the layer. It's not necessary to do that. Throw away the sour cream overnight on gauze or on a fine sieve. Wait for the liquid to all go away. That's it. Stir it in. You don't need to whisk anything. You can, however, with a whisk, stir everything like this. And that's all. It thickens not because you whisk, but because it just reacts with the thickener. That's it. I've got the cream ready. Let's assemble the cake. Okay. At the bottom of the mold, so to speak, a little bit of cream so that the whole cake does not move. I'll take the first cake. You don't need to soak the cake with anything. It's so soft. Delicious. They will now absorb the cream. It will be a very tasty cake. We put the cream here. By the way, spread out as much cream as you wish. Distribute it like this and don't worry if everything comes out on the sides. It's okay. We'll decorate the sides too. The main thing is to distribute the cream evenly like this. The more cream you put, the better, because part of the cream will be absorbed into the cakes, part will remain between them. Okay, now next cake. With the rest of the cream, tighten the top and sides of the cake, and we will sprinkle and decorate a little. I make a honeycomb dumpling like this, and on only half of the cake. Now I'll tell you why I'm going to decorate it for and how I'm going to decorate it, but it's optional. You can just add sprinkles, the sides. Decorate with sprinkles. Add sprinkles as much as you wish, because it will also absorb the cream on the sides. I make sure that I add sprinkles a little bit on top of the edge. It turns out so beautifully. Now it looks like a honeycomb. I fill the other half of the cake with sprinkles like this. That's it, the cake is ready. It needs to soak for 3 or 4 hours. Since it's evening, I'll cut it in the morning. Okay, in the morning I took out the cake and look, where there was a thin layer of sour cream, it is a little more absorbed, and now it's just like that. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit so that the honeycomb is visible. And you can see that there's a lot of sour cream soaked in here. Okay, let's cut it off. It's very tender, softly to cut. In general, I really like this version of honey cake. It's so simple to make. Just look at this piece of cake. I cut a piece of cake for myself. Now we're going to try it. It's so soft and tender, it melts in your mouth, guys. It's so soft, fluffy honey cake. I can't wait to try it. Okay, well, it smells like honey and sour cream. It's melt in your mouth, guys. I want coffee. We just had breakfast and decided to get the cake, but I'm gonna make myself a mug of coffee with the cake. It's very, very tasty. Best of all, you don't have to cook it for a long time, half an hour. It's a huge slice, a huge cake. It's nourishing. There's a lot of sour cream in here. These crusts, they're honey flavored. And as I said, they absorbed more of the cream. They became even bigger. They became so tender and moist. And due to the fact that I add thickener for sour cream, and the layer of sour cream remains. Also, since sour cream and products are different for everyone, I specified 1.5 liters of sour cream. Well, as it usually works, but give or take, someone might want to put more sour cream between the cakes. Well, it's just a matter of taste. It's up to you. Don't take less than 1.5 liters. Otherwise, it will all be absorbed into the cakes and nothing will remain in the layer. But that's just from experience. I love it when there is a lot of sour cream in honey cakes. Bon appétit! Put likes, share this video. Love you all. Bye.